Okay, conspiracy time. Let me focus in on this. Okay. North Korean smartphones automatically capture screenshots every 5 minutes for state surveillance. A smartphone smuggled out of North Korea automatically captures screenshots every 5 minutes and stores them in a hidden folder inaccessible to users, according to analysis by the BBC. Authorities can later review these images to monitor citizen activity on the device. The phone, obtained by Seoul-based media outlet Daily NK, resembles a Huawei or Honor device, I think it's pronounced Honor, but runs state-approved software designed for surveillance and control. The device also automatically censors text, replacing South Korea with puppet state and Korean terms of endearment with comrade. Where is the conspiracy theory here, Spiro? I have said before, the way that we do tech in the West, in Western countries, and primarily, the primary thing that I find to be the most egregious reason why, the most definitive reason why tech is in absolute disarray, is because we have focused so much on developer preferences and subjectivity. And we have forgotten the fact that the way that code executes in your hardware and the way that code is structured is the only thing that ultimately matters. That's it. That's the reality. If there's a reality out there, like nature, like you can't go against nature, that is the nature of programming. It's the use of logic and logical laws. That is a programmer's natural state. It's their natural world. When we ignore that natural world and we abstract and third parties and vibe code and, whatever makes a developer happy and, political leanings being injected into code, in order to be politically correct, no matter which end of the political spectrum you're on, it does not matter. All of these things for feelings. Oh, my feelings, though. I feel good when I do this. It feels nice. I feel like I can understand this. It's all feelings based. And then you have this article. And I've said it before. Do you honestly think that nation states that do not care or are actively working against our way of life, do you think that they treat their programming the same way that we treat our programming? And you can look at China's DeepSeek as an example of this. You can look at China's electric vehicle boom that they're having right now that's far surpassing us. You can look at even certain things that Russia has done in the past. This isn't a political statement. I'm not making a statement about the whole thing. I'm just saying that there are plenty of other countries, some of which I dare not even mention because then it might trigger people to start saying things that I just, that's not what this show is about. There are other people who deal with those other factors. But what I am saying is that there are plenty of other nation states that do not give the same treatment to their programmers and programming as we do here. Now, this particular article doesn't say that this is how, programmers, right? This is just their standard operating procedure for everybody. And North Korea is not the only place that does this. So then it's really easy to imagine that you are a programmer in one of these nation states, and it is your job to build code that runs on, say, military hardware, where you know that your competition, aka the West, caters to people's feelings, and you're like, no, you're going to do things the absolute most performant, efficient way possible, and we're going to run laps around you. And that is exactly what's happening. Based on no evidence at all. All right? That's my conspiracy theory. And, hang on, I still have to put it on. There are some links to nation-state actors like China, but not only China, that support through financial measures and through third and fourth layer VC companies. They support and promote these subjective, my feelings though, let's say paradigms that exist in the programming world. So it could be something down to like a programming language might get a lot of support from one of these nation states, Or it could be that one of these nation states promotes the use of a particular paradigm, or they create something that gets picked up by everybody else because it's so good. But is it real? Like, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on. And if I wanted to attack the West and their way of life without ever having to fire any boom boom stick, this would be a really good way, because we just seem to just be all about our feelings these days, and it's really easy to get people to buy into it. Cybersecurity is the new front line. It is. Yes. And it's the new front line in ways that people have no idea yet. And the only way that people are going to become aware of it is when something terrible happens. That's what I think. I think that's the unfortunate truth. That will be the only time that people recognize how serious cybersecurity is, how important it is to focus on what the hell is actually going on in your code, and that all of this. But I like how nice it looks, or I like not having to think about this problem, or whatever it is, or just whatever those subjective reasons for doing the way that we're doing tech now. Those things are very quickly going to be like, well, what the hell were you doing all this time? And we're going to have to answer for that. Purecoin, NK has better programmers. It's not necessarily about better programmers. It's about the incentives that programmers are being asked to it's the goals. That's what it is. What are the goals that programmers are being asked to achieve, and how they're being restrained in their efforts to achieve it. So you could maybe make an objective case for, like, maybe they do have better programmers because they have those objectives. But my argument isn't necessarily that. My argument is that people who set these goals understand the truth about, like, how these things actually operate, because it's really not that hard to understand. It doesn't take a genius to figure this out. And so then when you set a programmer in one of these countries and it's like, well, you love your family, don't you? It would sure be a shame if you didn't consider this. It would sure be a shame if you didn't consider writing your code in this particular way so that it's better than what the West does. That's it. That's what I'm saying.